All right, so today we're going to talk about the difference between air layering and pruning. This tree is actually, it's a pomegranate tree, and it's actually the result of an air layer we did, I'm going to say about 2 years ago. The reason why it's not even bigger than it is now is because we left it in a pot for those last 2 years. Actually put it in ground this fall. Well, this winter we kind of put it in the ground, and this is where we want its home to be. But now looking at the tree, I can see that I like the way this part is shaping out, but I don't like how this long branch is coming out. Most people would just take this tree and cut it and prune it to their desired shape. But what I like to do with pomegranates and fig trees is instead of pruning it, I just like to wait until early spring. You can see the leaves are just coming out, so the juice and the nutrients are just starting to flow, and this is the perfect time for air layering. Also, it's not as hot, so the air layer will have a better chance to take, and it won't dry out. What I like to use is peat moss, and you can look at it. It's just dry peat moss. The difference I find why air layering is a little bit better to me, and I'm just gonna add water to this. My kids are playing over there. While we're getting ready to do the air layer, just let your peat moss kind of soak. That's it. I'm gonna sit it off to the side. Let that soak up. The reason why I think air layering is better in certain cases, right? You got your grafting, you got your pruning and air layering. With air layering, you got two options. You can make a new tree, or you can sell a new tree to somebody. So if you want to get into the business of selling trees, selling fruit trees, pomegranates and fig trees are like the best ones to use, I've found. And you also can air layer citrus as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna, only because I thought of it, get a little safe today, get some gloves. Here we go. Inside joke, you know who this is from. If you were the one that sent it, you know who you are. So here's your cutter. This is what I've been using since I got this, and it's been doing good for me. I used to use like a little razor blade holding in my hands. This is a little bit better, and of course, just in case if it slips, I actually cut myself last year, so we're gonna try some gloves this time. So here we go. We can come in, and I'm gonna keep this branch here because this is what I'm gonna use to set the aluminum foil on. So all you need is aluminum foil and peat moss for this one. Basically, all I'm gonna do is cut down here into the bark. And then I'm gonna cut around it. And all this is gonna do is help me take that bark away from around the branch. Just gonna go all the way around it. I'm not really concerned about the nodes here because I have so many nodes above the graft. I just want to get a good bit of cambium layer. And all I'm doing is, you just see I'm just going around this. Alright, now let's see if I got enough off where I can, there you go, just peel it away. Nice and easy. You can see that? It just peels off. You can go and just peel it away all the way around. See if I can grab it. Got most of it. Get the rest of it. Peel it off. So all of that's exposed. This is where your roots are gonna come from. And this is basically real easy. Now I can take these gloves off. And you could expose a little bit more if you want, but I like to get in and get some really wet. What this does by having the wet peat moss is it's gonna actually keep you from having to water it as much or water the air layer, because it holds so much moisture. And then here in Louisiana, because it rains so much and it's so humid, it's gonna keep it nice and moist. And then every now and then I may water this maybe about twice before May. So it's March right now. I'll probably take this air layer off somewhere around May 15 or so. Today is what, March 18th? March, something like that. So this is how you do it. I like to get, this is the high dollar aluminum foil, so, but this is all I had inside. You just need regular aluminum foil. Basically get you a good bit in your hand. And you just put it on there like you're about to make a sandwich, like a hamburger. All right. Just put you enough on there. See how wet that is? That's good. And the aluminum foil is gonna hold your peat moss in place, and also it's gonna stop the sun from getting inside to the roots, and it's gonna mimic like this is underground, because that's where the roots wanna grow, underground. So I'm gonna take this here, get this in here, right down there, and basically get that around there. You see how I'm wrapping it up in there? I'm just closing it up. This is going to be my root system. Everything else, the aluminum foil is going to hold it. The reason why I like to use the aluminum foil is because I can always open this up at my own pleasure and get a peek in there. This is what I like to do if I want to see if my roots are growing. I'll open it up and get a little peek in. So right now though, I can close it all the way up too. This is not really going to dry out. This is why I like the peat moss. And the reason I like the aluminum foil is you can actually get it to really hold on to the tree like a little hand. That's not going to come off unless somebody comes and takes it off. So if you see a lot of videos and you see trees that are just looking like that, a lot of times that's what it is. So let's go over, and I got a fig. So this is actually an air layer pomegranate tree. This is just a wonderful pomegranate too, like the red one. An air layer is going to give me another air layer, and you just keep doing that over and over, and you can move your trees. So this keeps you from having to dig up a tree to move it, when you can just do an air layer and then put the tree somewhere else where you want it at. So we're going to take, this is all we need. We're going to put a little, just for the sake of watching people on YouTube, get a little bit of bleach and water, and just to keep from spreading germs from one tree to another one. Never really used it before, but kind of started doing it last year, I think. So here we go. Come on, Ree. Come on, Zach. Come on, Zach. All right, so here's a Cadota fig that one of our subscribers actually sent us some cuttings of, and we put it right here. But you can see what it's trying to do is it just wants to grow this long stem. We don't really want a long stem just growing up like that. So if we cut off the top of it, it will cause the bottom branches to kind of branch out to make it a little bit fuller. So instead of just pruning this off, I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to just do an air layer, which is the same method. I can kind of choose where I want it, where I want to do it at. I'm saying maybe here. What you think?
Yeah,
that way it'll branch out down here at the bottom.
Then she said over the.
Well, point at it. Over here, right here. You can see as soon as I cut into it. You see that juice coming out of it?
Sap.
And juice. That juice. Chickens are like, what are y'all doing out here? Ooh, this one got a lot of juice flowing. Yeah, this one got a lot of juice flowing out of it. Same thing at the top. Can go right. I'm gonna go on top of that node. What are y'all talking about? What are these kids talking about? So this is not a method that you really want the kids watching anyway, or learning at this point. But look all the sap coming out of it. Let's see if I got in there enough. Same way, y'all. Just open that up. Peel that off. Peel it on off. That one was clean. So, good peel. I don't use any kind of rooting hormone, anything like that. Take that, put it to the side. What y'all up to? Yeah, food. Come feed me and my women. He said, come feed me and my women, Ari. Same thing, nice size piece. And you can always put more and more. You want to put some in there? Yeah, put some in there for me. Yeah. A lot. Like, take some, start putting it on there. This is something that the kids can do. Yeah, give me some of that wet. All right, that's good. That's good. That's enough. Don't need too much because this one don't have nothing to hold on to. So I really don't need that much. Put some of that back. But this is, we do have to take into consideration that, all right, that this is where we're gonna put, this is where the roots are gonna go. So you do want to give it some kind of soil. Once again, I ain't gonna cut none of this off. Leave all this on, leave everything intact until after you take the air layer. Then you'll want to take these fruit off and maybe about all the leaves except for like 1 or 2 of them. So then you come here. Let me get on the good side of it. Get that bottom, wrap your bottom in. All right, so I got my bottom wrapped up and secured. And everything else, we just closing it around there. Close it up in there. Wrap it around like that. And I think I'm gonna put something on the bottom of it, just to keep it from going down. But I'll do that later. Yeah, same thing for the top. When you're ready to water, all you gotta do is just move this. You don't have to like take a rubber band off or anything. Just move that, water it, and then close it back. Yeah, good job.
Does it like this, man?
Yes, ma'am. Now, you can add as much aluminum foil as you want at that point. I just like it wrapped around. So, it's been a while. It's been more than a month. It's what, June 23rd?
23rd.
June 23rd. And you can see this is that fig. Let me tell you, you can't let them go too long. I've let this one go too long. I've been watching it and watching it. I watched it come up, bloom out, put on fruit again. You can see all of the new growth that's came out of here. And it's done that because it's been cut off from the top. So just like I told you, once you start that air layer, it'll start to push out new growth at the bottom. Then you don't have to worry about this long stem just growing long. You can kind of start making it kind of bush and do its thing. So what I want to do is, I'm going to go in under here. Look at all these roots. And this is what I was telling you all, that this one actually does way better. Does way better than the citrus. Uh-oh, mosquitoes on you, man? Okay. This one actually does way better than the citrus as far as rooting. Look at that root system. The citrus just can't compare to a good fig or a pomegranate as far as the aggressiveness of the roots on the air layer. You can see how amazing that is. And it's ready to go. So take that off. Let me see if one of these is ready.
Probably
This
not.
one. That one. Yeah. That one looks like, try it. You think it's ready? Too dry. So what I like to do is go ahead on in. They got some good
Sap, which you can
sap.
use. Yeah.
So that's uses for the sap on all of your. I'm not gonna give that to the chicken, so well, yep, I'll give that. That one, just not these. So here you go. We can leave these on. This not gonna hurt it. They're basically ready to go. Basically put this in here. All right, so
A little bit more.
horse flies out.
Uh-oh.
Horse flies is bugging you like I don't know what. A little bit more. All right, I'm gonna say that's good enough.
Yes.
And I can put a little bit more
Dirt.
on them to hold them down. But that's perfect. Can actually take this off. I'll cut that off. Don't pull that, man. And that's it, y'all. Basically, if you couldn't see it on the live stream, that's how easy it works. Go ahead on and water it in. Come on. And I'll get that other, pick up that aluminum foil in a bit. So let's just go by this one. I'm gonna do the same exact thing. Nothing different. I just really wanted to show you the fig, how it actually reacts when you actually start an air layer, how it pushes the growth out of the bottom part to give you that bushing look. This one here is kind of explanatory. I'm just gonna go and take it off. Same thing. It'll come up right there up under it. This one had a lot of ants on it earlier. That's it, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all. I don't even have a pot right here to put this in, but it's a lot of ants on there, so I'm gonna hold off. But you can see how the ants, I think the ants kind of messed with it a little bit, slowed it down, but they finally got out after I just started pouring water on them. And this is another one. We're just gonna basically just pot it. Put it down to the root system in some soil and pot it. Easy, 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 easy peasy. So thank y'all for watching the Grow Family Network. I'm gonna go pot this one just like I did that one. No different. You can cut some of this off if you don't think it's gonna make it. Cut some of this off, cut all these leaves off, take all these leaves off. It'll kind of push it into dormancy a little bit, and then next season it'll bush right back out nice and full. If it starts to go crazy on you, like you think it's dying, take all those leaves off, start watering a little bit, and cut some of this size off. It don't need that much size. Basically, I can cut this part off and just leave this small part. It'll be perfect. So that's it, y'all. Thank y'all for watching the Grow Family Network. Be safe, and as always, anytime you can get it, you might as well get it, right? So as always, grow, grow, grow. Peace.